Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's stream. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are in for a wonderful stream today, and I hope you guys, just doing good. You survived the heat wave. I really do hope you did, because it was kind of insane over here, wasn't it? In the entirety of Europe and Eastern Europe, I think they still do have a little bit of crazy heat going on. You may see that the camera angle is changed a little. Let me just quickly grab the full cam over here. It's not too much that changed for you guys, but I'll get to that during today's stream. Something has actually changed. I'm really excited to talk about that in a bit. Really, I am excited. But I am also equally excited to tell you that I have done some stuff in this park over here. Let's just right into it. First of all, we'll say hello to the people in the chat. Not sure who's there. Give me a heads up for who's there, because that would be very helpful. Now, first things first, hello Lumia Stream. Lumia Stream is in, that's good. Ice Cream Man, Luca, Livy, hello, and also Kelly Games. We also do have Steph VH88. Good evening to every one of you. Hello. Eric Van Wiekhuis, is that how you say that? I hope that was. We're waiting a little bit until we are here. I do hope we do catch some people today. As always, Martin, as always, I do not have the viewing count on, so I have no idea how many people are actually watching. By the way, I can wear my headphones fully. I always forget that. Like, I'm so used to streaming with like one head like this for like over 10 years, it seems like. Anyways, Tuan, good evening to you, and also Alan Vaders, good evening. How are you all doing? I also kind of did create a little fun super chat in case you were wondering. Now, this single rail coaster, as you can see, has replaced our previous single rail coaster, and it is a major change to the layout. We are going to hop on in a bit. I was already doing a bit of smoothing. I was Cha-Cha Blinks, hello. I was already doing a couple of little fixes to the entire area, but today we are doing some custom supporting, actually. So yeah, this is also where it still goes through here. I have done pretty much the same down here, because the whole thing was done with the kind of layout in mind, and then we meander back into that area. We have to play with the light a little bit. We have to play kind of a little bit of things, and we're just going to jump on board and have a little go on that single rail coaster. First of all, that music, how are you doing? I've really not ridden it, so I'm very curious to see how that's riding right now. Okay, so first thing already pretty wobbly. That one also is pretty heavy indeed. Oh my god, the graphics just kick in like crazy. We do go outside, get a crazy blend effect, and then we go back down into that one. Have a little bit of a go into a roll. Okay, that was kind of surprisingly good. Go up again. That one isn't too smooth. I got to smooth that out a little more. And then we go down in here. That is all pretty good too so far. Well, that support over there doesn't really work. Planet Coaster TV. Hello, good evening. And then we meander all the way back here. This corner isn't really smoothed nicely. That one is nice. That one is pretty nice as it is. And then we dip down in here. Very nice indeed. Okay, that's all pretty good. That's a bit sharp. Oh my god, that's choppy as hell. We got to fix that one too. And then we go all the way back up. Okay, well, I think that's all good. I think this is something we can really work with. We can also really work with making that music a little louder in the background. I'm just going to put on my controls over here to make that a bit higher. Okay, well, you know what? That is a very good thing to start with, because I don't have to record that. And also, let's just use that flashlight for a bit. And we are going to just smooth a couple of things. What was that used to backwards? Let's just use none. And I believe the one thing we have to just check over here is that it doesn't destroy the shaping, which is very likely if we do it that way. So that is still, is that still a roll? Let's have a look. It still does go into a roll. That is nice. And it felt almost like that this one over here was a little bit too crazy. I'm also not really sure if we stay with the same color. Like, the white pattern was kind of okay as much as it was. But I think at the end of the day, I do think that I may go with a couple of different colors to get a bit more contrast, a bit more sci-fi-esque things in here. I think that is a much better thing. The entry was good. I think just that entry into that roll was a little bit, yeah, I think we gotta change that steepness here a little. That is a bit too much, I guess. So I think the entry was kind of okay, but most about that, like, kind of, angle of attack over here is really kind of not working as intended. So let's see if we can smooth that. In fact, I could try to get this even like steeper. Is that working? If we just drag that all the way back, and then I'm willing to just about try to smooth that one. Let's actually increase the... I think this way could work a bit better. So we go back in steeper and then we dip into that roll. I think that will help. Down here, that was something I didn't like quite a lot. So let's smooth that out quite a bit more. And also just about do a bit of a... How high is this? Ooh, that is just about not even... Okay, we can't even do it this way. We have to... We just have to sacrifice the height a little because that is not working... I think it does help with the overall smoothness now. I have a toad parade now on the workshop. Of course you have. What else would you have? Sweet layout for the coaster. Cool. The fog on spacecraft looks cool. Yeah, that is really... I mean, I may have to change the course of it a little because it dips into that part over here. But that's a problem for later. That's a problem for later. In any case, guys, so just so you're aware, that is not only the last stream before holiday. We literally will drive tomorrow evening. So in less than 24 hours, I'll be sitting in the car driving towards the wonderful Spain. You could say to cool off a little from the German heat. We are going to South because that is where the temperatures are a lot better. And that's not even a joke, you know. The last 2 weeks, it's been way hotter over here than it used to be in Spain. So yeah, that is something... That is something to consider. And also we do have a pool over there, which quite helps with the temps as well. I wasn't the biggest fan of this bit over here. So what I'm actually doing, I think I'm going to raise this, but we also will widen that a little and then bring it back again, widen that again, and smooth. I think that's going to help a little to make it also a bit more interesting here with the left-right combination, because that was in fact a little too less. And it just kind of creates the wrong forces here. I need to just about have a bit more tilt so that it does help a little. I think that way we can just make more use of it. So let's just smooth that out a little. So here we go. So it dips back into the left banking a little earlier. I think that could work. And then just smooth out these a little. I think that works. Okay, now that support over here is actually a fix of the support. So we're going to beam that one down. And in fact, you know what? Okay, these are not even a group. Okay, what is going on? We can just about move that here. And we got that bin over here anyway, so no one cranks into... Wait, hold on. Where's the bin? There's it. Let's put it in there so people will... I mean, I could have done this otherwise else, but, you know, that's fine. So that roll, but this corner over here was something I didn't like, so let's smooth that out quite a bit. Yeah, I can already see the shape not working. So let's just smooth it all out. That is much better now, coming off of the roll, and then have that smoothness in here. And then we go up. I think this part over here was really good. That was really good until we go down. So that turn over here was still good, but now this is also where it started, okay? But up over here, that entire turn was way too tight and way too crazy. Can just have that one piece more, please. Okay, so let's smooth the whole thing a little so that goes lower. I think that's also even better to retain the speed a bit nicer. Anyways, guys, what have you been up to during the kind of crazy heat wave, if you had one? Because obviously that was just down to Europe. I mean, we're a lot of European people. So let me know, did you guys survive the heat? How was your experience with the heat during the last week in the wonderful hot oven of Europe? So I think that could have just really smoothed it out. Okay, I think we're just gonna hop on one more time and see what changed. So let's have a look, and off we go. There you go. That roll is much nicer now. Oh yeah, that's all. Wait, hold on. I think that, okay, well, now it's normal speed again. That seemed very fast. So let's see how we dip in. Oh yeah, that is much better now. Much smoother. We go up. Oh, love that. Beautiful pacing. And then we go into here, here, and up we go. That combination could be smoothed out a little better. Now, what about that turn? Yeah, that is much better as well. Go up, go down, and now let's see. I mean, the pace is a little on the low side, but that's just what you can do inside of here. Now, this is a lot more fun now. That is a lot more... Oh, I love it. That is just perfectly smooth now. Ooh. I am very happy with this. I am very happy. There's just one little bit I want to fix. Just one little bit, and that is this entire combination over here. I think what we can actually do is we can just select the whole combination up until we are here. We're just going to smooth out the entire bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure it's a bit more exciting by adding some height here. And then maybe lower some of the height here, and then we are still going to say smooth that one out. So hopefully that is making the combination a little more interesting. But other than that, I was really happy. I was really happy with how that turned out. Honestly, pretty hot in my part of the USA too, but we are also used to it because climate change has given us a never-ending, extremely hot, humid summer. Well, that's true. Horrific. I work in a kitchen with no air conditioning. Oh my god, that must been that music. That must been hell. That must have been absolute hell. Okay, one last attempt here on the coaster. Can we just hop on? Where are we? Okay, we can... Oh, we are perfect timing. Perfect timing. We're just about to go into that combination. Let's have a look. We go in left, left, right, left, right. Yeah, that's better. We meander then into here. Well, that's the autosave inside of that. Awesome. And then we go up into that crazy bend to the side. I'm just wondering if we could go a bit more up and down, but that's fine. Just in here. Yeah, love that. Really love that. That roll now is fantastic. And then we come up here. That is pretty damn cool. That is pretty damn cool, my friends. I am really happy. I'm really happy. That is really cool. Oh my god, what's that? What's that? Can I just... Okay, is that... Oh my god, no. No. I disabled the chat. Why didn't I do? Ooh, can I redo this? No. Oh no. Well, hold on. No. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. There it is. Oh my god. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back alive. There we go. Ooh. Holy heck. Holy heck. Okay, I was shocked for a little second here. Okay, now this is pretty much a very good start to this build. But as I said earlier, we are going to build something here today. So the single rail coaster is pretty cool, but now the next bit we're doing is really cool. We are building like a... just gonna put on the light. In fact, we're actually adding some light in here anyways, but we're going to build like a tower that acts like a support structure for this bit of the coaster and also for that bit of the coaster. Or maybe not for that bit. I think this one can be supported from the sides as it's meant to be. So we could also just about deliver this on that edge over here, just like so. And then we would kind of create a structure like that, but I'm just willing to use other pieces for that, so we're just going to delete these. But yeah, this is going to be very cool. I have to now find almost like the dead center of it, which is going to be kind of hard, but I think this is about here, because what we're going to do... Jinathafafa, how are you doing? How are you doing, mate? I hope you're doing good. I hope you are doing good. So what I'm willing to do is I'm willing to put this somewhat in the middle here. So that is about where we can have it. So let's see if that is somewhat of the center of that entire structure. That's about as center as I can be, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, that is fantastic. Okay, now we are going to build a really cool structure that is... I want to say rotating, but then we have a middle part that isn't rotating. So that's going to be looking really cool because I want to have like a planet kind of, you know, interchangeable planet kind of thing. But it's going to be really damn cool how that is done. we are going to have the rotational platform that just goes inside of the middle over here. That's going to be our thing. Let me just set up my recording software, because I will need this as a potential little thing during my holidays. But there is a bit of a secret, guys. I have actually recorded an entire series for you guys over the upcoming 3 weeks. It's 9 episodes and a 10th following of an entire park build. And you'll get an episode every other day. It's gonna be so awesome. I worked my camel butt off the last 2 weeks to deliver that to you guys, but it's so worth it. It's so freaking worth it. So I hope you guys are really in for that. We are going to build this right now, and we're going to type in metal first of all. I'm just going to kind of, first of all, let's say deactivate. We can start rotating later on. But I'm willing to say, it's Karaya. Thank you for the sub. Oh my God, that's a Twitch sub. Welcome on in. Thank you so much. You're so generous. Making that counter up there somewhere, moving to 60 again. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And welcome in. Enjoy your goodies, enjoy all the stuff, and just enjoy the time in here. So we're going to start with this thing, aquatic floor light. Is that like add to group is off? Let's put it on. And we're just going to attach that. Why can I not have that to the center? It doesn't have an attach point to the center. Are you kidding me? Snap to position on. Okay, why is this piece not snapping to position? Okay, that is super odd, but I don't mind. We're going to have this in here, and we're going to say rotational. Okay, if I turn off the light, I can't see anything. But that should be solved by having the light. Hit play. Is that? Oh wait, I need to change the light then anyway. So let's just quickly turn. Oh my God, the flashlight is just so crazy. Here we go. Look at that. Good evening. How are you? It's a snap to position doesn't work on since the update. Oh, does it really not? Oh my God, I didn't notice because I rarely build with it, to be honest, but I didn't notice because in the early access, it 100% worked because I used that for some of the stuff I prepared for the time being. That is very annoying, to be honest, but hopefully that's going to be fixed anyways. So that is the slot number 2. Let's do the same. I think this is the light, right? I want to have the light down here going into like turquoise. Just gonna do something about this like so. And then we're going to have how many of those? I think we're gonna have like 12 of those, and we're just going to scale that bigger because that is going to be the footer that we're going to use. I'm just gonna blend that into that one nicely like so. And if I select this and we say on loop, they are all turned on now, right? Oh, that's fantastic. What about turning off the light? And we have this one. Awesome. That looks really cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to have that thing rotated and have that like look up a little like so. It's gonna help because it's eventually in a bit it's gonna all make sense. Does it already shine? Okay, it's not yet enough to shine on the light over here, but that's going to happen. So we have a lot of these cool float pieces now we can use. Oh my God, stuff like this, which is rather crazy. Why is this? Did I rotate this? Oh, it's slightly angled. How did this happen? Okay, we're gonna get rid of this then, and do that one more time, please. Okay, now we are talking. This is the correct angle. Okay, fair enough. That was my bad. So this is kind of cool. But I need some really cool stuff. As I said, there is some absolutely freaking amazing stuff for the float pieces that works so well for SciFi. I just saw that and I was immediately like, okay, I have to go back to like Hanseatic because the SciFi area is going to benefit from that so dramatically. That is just really, really crazy. So we're going to, I'm just really, you know what, actually, Kreuzko, good evening, how are you doing? What's going on? Well, actually, I can finally stream again without melting, even though it's still pretty warm in here. I'm doing much better than last week. So the streams last week obviously couldn't be done. A, because I was watching some football, as long as Germany was still in, which is not the case anymore. But other than that, it's been mostly about the heat. Like there was virtually no chance to stream. It was it was just kind of ridiculous. So yeah, that is about what I wanted to have over here. So now we can go in and what the heck? That looks very, I mean, I didn't mean to do that, but this looks, oh my god, that looks kind of amazing. You know what, guys? I'm gonna absolutely keep this because I feel like if I've got random scale activated, that is stupid as hell. But what about if I raise this? Oh, that looks really cool. That looks like such an organic kind of dome. Oh my god. But I'm just like willing to change the color of that thing. So how about, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. How about that? And then how about we get this color like a bit more bright? It's very hard to tell because it's all about the lighting in here. So I'm just going to try to do the same for down here. That looks like a cool orbs kind of stuff. I really like that. I really do like that. Okay, let's continue because I wanted to actually just, I just wanted to have these. Oh my god, they're glowing. They're glowing. Ooh. Aquatic, okay, so these things glow. Huh. So what about if we have those? Okay, we can have them in multiple places, but what about we just kind of try to give this thing a bit of a nice glowing effect as well. Like the lights, whew, whew, whew. This reminds me of that like social media trend of like, you're a graphic designer, but Instagram wants videos, and then they're like always moving these kind of things in there, which I find kind of hilarious. Well, this is just not really. This is kind of where it would be aligned, right? It's not looking too well, is it? But what I could do, yeah, there you go. This is what I thought we could maybe do. Is doing something like that. This might actually look a lot better. Yeah, that just goes exactly into the idea I had. How about just going, can't go smaller than that. But to be honest, that like bright one looks also really cool. It just kind of resembles that light over here. And we could make that like glow a bit more. I'm wondering like if we pair that with a bit of a more kind of unique color, or we go a bit more bright, like greener with that one. I think this is what really helps to sell the idea because it just pairs up with the background here a bit nicer. I mean, we could also use orange because of that orange station in the back. How about orange? Yeah, I kind of like orange too. And we could actually put some plants in here, to be honest. I think plants could look really fun. Let's say planter for a moment. And we're just going to have that one. It's something really unique I haven't done for so much lately. But I'm quite happy that I just had that idea now. So we have this one in. And we're going to grab some like tropical plants in here that could work. Or maybe what about a grape wine? These things look kind of shitty because they're like from the like, I mean, they don't look shitty. They do look, yeah, no, they do look shitty. Let's face it, they do look shitty. This is like from the first game, and they can just not hold up with the quality of this game. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's not. Orange looks great, right? Yeah, I do think so too. So let's see that we can get a bit of, yeah, let's get a bit of bracken just for some sorting reasons. And then how much can we scale those down? Because, oh my god, guys, I need the scaling mod. I think at this point, there's like no way around this. Why are these also so hilariously big, by the way? And I think they are, but they are definitely the ones I need to have as a base. So just to not make it look too repetitive, what we could do is just kind of change. I can't change the size too much, like a bit of bigger ones in here. That looks way too repetitive. Let's just go and say rotational like this, and then we're going to just add some other stuff on the side, but we're going to have that one in, and we can scale that one smaller, can't we? Yeah, we can. Okay, we're just gonna bring this to the front, tilt that over. so that this does also just stick out like a little bit. And then we can also say rotation like that, and then just have another one smaller, poke out here, just a bit taller, and then we say rotation like that, and just about like, I think this is fine. I think this is just about fine as I wanted it to. We can pick some others to be in there. Toad green. I'm just not gonna do toad green. I'm sorry, but like, no. Yeah, well, that is about what I wanted to do. As for the style here, I think that looks really cool. But now we have to focus on the mid column. So we're gonna type in metal again, and we're going to work on the middle column. I am not entirely sure what I'm going to use for that, but it should be something really cool looking. How much can we scale this thing up and down? Okay, it's definitely going to be this thing then. So what we are going to do is we're going to wait, what did I just... Yeah, I don't want to have the... Why is there... I don't want to have the advanced move. How is this? How can I disable that? Wait. Angle snap. No, snap distance. There it is. What was that? What was that? What was that? 17 humpy likes on the stream. So let's just bring that to the middle so we actually find the middle point. If there's no snapping in there, I need to find it this way. Okay, so it should be about here because we have no scaling. Why would we need scaling if we can do it that way? So this is going to be the central tower thingy. So we can have that in here to the ground. And we have another one. We're just going to rotate that a little to have a different pattern and texture to all sides, you know. And then just to avoid that little bit of, that little bit of 177 to make it a bit wider. And then we're going to make that again. And we go with 174 or something like that, I guess. So 174 maybe, just to have that centered nicer. Is that like, why is it off center then all of a sudden? I'm just gonna not do this way. This is not how it should be. I'm just gonna do this myself now. Okay, let's do that significantly smaller, and then we're just gonna rotate the whole thing a little. Whoops! Come on, come on. Oh yeah, I messed up. Hello, what is going on? Something is. Did they mess up with the full release? The game just feels a little different, to be honest. Has there been a fix or a patch, or is this just me? Something feels somehow off, and I can't really tell. I can't really tell what it. Yeah, something is just. It might be my computer right now. It's like there is no snappiness whatsoever. It just the input delay is rather crazy right now, and it is off center. That is so odd. Look at that, how off center it is. How can this be off center if I just? Is that slightly tilt? I don't even know what's going on. But it must be off center. It is. It definitely is. Look at that. This is not the center. This is the center. Huh? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But I'm gonna stay with it like so. Okay. Now I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy with this design. I'm just going to do and kind of make that look a little bit less aggressive on that one. So almost like make this blend in. I think this is fantastic. This is really cool. What about if we make this one very small in the middle to give it a bit of a nicer perimeter? Yeah, because I need to have that rotating piece around that, or like the stable piece around that, which doesn't move. I feel like that's kind of cool. Perhaps because there's a bit of sticking out on the side of the barrel. Might be, but yeah. That would be a weird change then that they have done, because I know that this piece in the past actually worked. So I'm quite okay with this tower so far. So I'm also quite okay with the colors and the lighting. What I'm really not okay with is obviously the base. So we are just going to, I think we could fix that easily with a float piece, because we have these wonderful kind of float pieces over here. I think I'm gonna go with that parade metal thing, and the bigger one anyways, because that one is obviously working like a charm for us. Look, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be absolutely fantastic. We're just gonna layer that one like so, and we're going to make this in a kind of metal gold, turquoise, whatever color that is. So that one must look really damn cool. And then there is that little thing in the middle here, which we got to fix by... That's a marble column. Is that a plastic cylinder? Do we also have like a metal cylinder? Or did they just not include... Frontier. Come on. You're kidding me, right? Oh no, they just didn't put the... Never mind. We're going to use this one instead. This one looks freaking cool. Honestly, this cleans off the lower part, and I'm all in for that. It just kind of gets rid of the structure on the ground, but honestly, I like the structure on top better anyways. And so that cleans off the lower part, and we can even give that a nice texture. That looks much better. What I'm also willing to do, I mean, now that we have the chance, we can work on some details that usually would take us way too long. So, oh, that's piece. Oh, that's the wrong piece. What about? Oh, that is a cool piece. That is this spine from that dino kind of thing. Huh. Because I was looking for a piece that just kind of marks the connection here nicer from that piece, but that, like, obviously that doesn't work because it's not metal. I would need a metal piece. But just good to know. What's that over here? Aquatic float vent. You can just like size that down. Why is it also so incredibly big again? Like I don't want to have it that big. Okay, so never mind. You guys are greeted with it. That's what she said. That's good. Metal. Let's have a look. There's a WhatsApp message. Is it my wife already? No. I thought my wife was very early today, which I don't think she was, because we are preparing for holiday, and I believe it's going to be actually late when she is doing that. There has been a hotfix update since last week, update day. Okay, I know why, because I know which problems we had in early access, and I'm very glad they fixed this because it was a pain for us. There was something wrong with moving the platforms for entertainers on parades. It was quite the nasty thing. I'm not going to say what exactly it was. I'm very glad they fixed that upon our feedback, but it was a more nasty thing, to be honest, and people would have been rightfully so rather mad if that wouldn't have been fixed. So I'm very glad they did this. We were a bit unfortunate that it took them longer, so they couldn't include that into our early access, which I think stopped a couple of people from doing better builds. But nevertheless, I saw some really incredible builds, and I'm also very happy that Frontier is getting better and better at the communication with us. Like it's been really enjoyable lately with them. They are very, very fast when it comes to getting feedback sorted if we have some for them. So I can only tell that this has been really cool lately. And just Chris is doing just some fantastic work. Just some really fantastic work. Anyways, guys, it is time for a little reveal, because I am willing to just first of all stop the recording here. And that one obviously isn't rotating, but we could now go back and say super slow or ultra slow and say loop. And then this is what just happens the whole time. We're gonna make like obviously a fence around here. That is, but you know what, actually we can do this real quick, and we're just going to say float, and we're going to use that because there is that fence in there that is just too good. So we got this one, but we can't scale that up enough, so as you can see that doesn't work, but we can use this one over here and scale that one up. So it's just about, that one is perfect for our sake over here, and we're just going to scale that down as much as we need that to. So hold on for a second. Actually, the pacing is pretty damn good. Now, everyone in chat, please have a guess what is going on in a bit. I'm very curious to see if you have an idea. Why do some things break at very update? I mean, they're adding stuff that's great, but existing. I think it's just like how the game is programmed. I remember in the past, we've talked about that quite a bit, because it's also a bit of a pity because this game is so individual. Like, this game has a lot of bugs that just single people have. Like, I remember that at the beginning with Planet Zoo, for example, the lady designer and I were chatting, and she had like the complete opposite of problems I had. Like I said, oh my god, this and this and this doesn't work. And she was like, I've never had that issue. And then she was like, oh my god, do you have got that and that and that issue? And I was like, nope, I've never had that issue. And so that is basically when we found out that especially in the Planet games, the issues are like super individual, and that is obviously a huge issue for Frontier themselves, because when they obviously want to try and fix that, it just, oh my god, you guys are getting way too close for comfort. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna scale that down, and we're gonna scale that middle plate also down then. Let's just pause the game. That rotation just makes me go crazy. I think that's about good where the railing sits. And now let's go back into this thing, and we're just gonna scale that one down. But you can guess in the chat what is going to be going on in a bit. I mean, I think you can't really guess it. The one who's guessing that right can actually name the coaster. You know, if there's anyone guessing right what is happening in a couple seconds, you will be able to name the coaster, because then we can all call you Mr. or Mrs. Trelawney, the real one, I guess. So here we go. It's still not pretty nicely aligned. No, either that is off or the fence is off. Well, actually, I think the fence is off. Let's have a look. So there you go. And then we also... Oh my god, it's very hard to tell where I need to be, but I think... Yeah, that's about as accurate as I can get it. Rocket starting a car, yeah. But yeah, back to you, the groom. I'm not sure they do actually have a quality control, but it's getting more and more crazy, and this is also why they kept having us more and more as testers in, which I feel like is a very good idea. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a game that has super individual issues, which is a bit of a problem. Are you going to make planets? Yeah, we're going to have a couple of planets going around over here, even though I have no idea how to style them properly, but we'll see about that. I'm just going to show you guys something, and I have to prepare something for that first of all. Give me a second. Because I have to read something, but like you'll be able to see that. Okay, now I hope you guys are excited. It's what's up, Sethy? Good evening. Are you going to make planets? Oh wait, I read that out already. Sethy, how are you doing? Now, I'm going to do something which is rather fun, at least for me. But I'll get to that. There is a story behind. I haven't really talked about that lately too much, but yeah, just I need to go into the webcam full mode. Hello, that is me. That's more of me. You know what is going to happen right now is I'm like, you know, I'm going away. I'm just going away. Like I see you later, okay? Well, in fact, here I am, and sorry for the World Cup loss, man. Well, I can deal with this. We can dance. We can have fun, because as you can tell, I'm standing right up here with you. I've got a standing desk, and there is a good reason for that. Boah, höhenverstellbarer Schreibtisch is crazy. This one is insane. My entire setup, I gotta prepare that photo for you guys. My entire setup is now on this. And I have it on screen for you here, which you can see. This is the setup. And this table is pretty incredible. And it's pretty damn steady. And I have this gifted, sponsored, however you want, by FlexiSpot. I have already done a great sponsoring with them in the past with a pretty cool chair, and that chair has been carrying us through the nursery phase of our little one, because it's like a swing chair that we have it up in the living room, and I built this in Planet Zoo. If you remember, in our Dutch zoo, this chair is actually part of the entire zoo, and we have some cozy lounge areas with that chair. Now, I didn't build this in this game, obviously, this time around, but it is the EZ7 Pro. Benji, hello, how are you doing? What up, man? There is going to be a link in the chat for you guys now. You can check this out. I don't have this just for fun. I'm actually diagnosed with some severe neck pain. Over the last couple months, I had a numb left arm, which caused me to have more and more issues in my everyday life. I didn't really tell about that because I was always like, yeah, it's just like being stressed and so on. Fun fact, it is because I'm stressed. It's because of doing too much YouTube and work, because I work like a shrimp in my actual job. Like I actually work like, like this on a little laptop, And then despite the fact, Chair is a good fellow, Chair's a great one. But I'm still like I'm working 8, 9, 10 hours a day on that shrimpy laptop, and then I'm streaming and doing YouTube for 4 further hours in the evening, which adds up to 10 to 15 hours a day sitting like a shrimp. Even though I do sports, that's not enough. And my doctor said, "You got to do something about this, mate. The problem is you already do a lot of sports, hence we can't really fix that with doing sports. Now you have to do something like this." And I'm going to show you something even better. We are going to get this thing down one more time. And I highly recommend checking them out. The quality of this thing is basically ridiculous. It's honestly, it is absurd. I am very bad at building things. In digital world, I'm great at building. In the real world, I'm not. I've got 2 left hands because that one was numb. 2 numb left hands, not a good story. However, this thing was so easy that I even forgot to record most of the content. I have an integration in some upcoming videos. You can see this one in there too. But I wanted to do this out of my free will. They didn't ask me to, but I offered them to talk about that now in live stream because I'm generally just impressed by that thing. And I'm going to show you now. Have a look. I'm going to sit down with you guys here on that table. I'm sitting on the table. You can even see my socks over here. Now, let's just do that, and we're just moving up together. Look, we're just moving up together. Lumble, thank you for the follow. And we're just going to, I can still hear my socks, that's one, there's the other one. And you can see there's barely even any wobble. You can see that from the camera, and it's just on a very weird pole, and yeah, we are now up in the air. Oh my god, okay, I almost fell down. And now let's go down again, just so you see. Now we're going down. We're going all the way down. And my feet are still do this clip farming. Yeah, well, that's fine. Here we go. Up and down. And honestly, I've got 3 monitors on that setup, and I've got a lot of other kind of crap on here. Nothing is wobbling. Like I was just like, when I wrote them with my diagnosis. I actually sent them my doctor's letter, and I was like, okay, you know what? I would gladly take a little discount if that's okay, but like, I don't know. I just wanted to write you because that cooperation last year was so cool. Could you? And they were like, yeah, sure. Get that one, test it, and if it's fine for you, I've got a flat rate. Yeah, I can go up and down. Guess what? Both of my kids, like that was the first thing. I didn't have my computer even set up. Both of my kids were sitting on that desk, and they were moving up like 80 times. I was like in that office, and they both like the big one just grabbed the little one, and they were like, can you show next time without the socks, please? Oh, of course I can't. I'm gonna make OnlyFans with like camel feet content. Didn't say the other word. Anyways, Benji, how are you doing? How is your project coming up? I haven't seen the last couple of videos, by the way. I've been recording like a madman because I'm away on holidays for the next 3 weeks, and I wanted to have some content. So I worked day in, day out to create some cool content for you guys. Now, yeah, that's really cool. So I'm obviously very thankful. This is why I wanted to do this on stream, and we are going to continue building in a bit, guys. I just wanted to thank you guys for this opportunity, because obviously without you guys, I wouldn't be in the position to get stuff like that sponsored. I'm incredibly grateful. And you know what? We are actually going to stream a bit from the standing position, because I figured I've been using that for a week now, and I found myself using this way more often than I thought I am. It's really crazy. And so even for people who don't have these issues yet, they may run into them. Doing good, man. Power Mines is finally finished. Actually just uploaded the trailer for members. Oh my god, I'm not a member, so I have to wait like normal person, which is all the way fine. I can't wait. Even though tomorrow I'll be sitting in 18 hours in a car, so I won't be watching. But after that, surely I am. I'm really, really curious, man. I'm really curious. But yeah, so I'm saying this is so cool. I feel like so free. We can do some dancing and stuff, even though I can't dance. Well, that's not true. Secret story, guys. I am Wonky Builder. Hello. Also, Tuan, I will come to your question in a second. Okay. Ren Camel. I can tell the origin story in a bit. You know what, guys? It's too boring for you to just see me. I guess I'm just going to go back to the coaster, and we're gonna sit in the coaster for a bit. So for the talkie time, it's not going to be too boring for you, hopefully. Okay, let's turn off the light. Right. So first things first. My first story is I actually can dance. Like I'm saying, I can't dance, but I do. I can dance because I went through all dancing classes available up until Club 3. If anyone does know about dancing, that means basically all the basic courses. Then like bronze, silver, gold, super gold star 1, super gold star 2, and up until Club. And we began doing this because of the girls. I think I was like 15 or so, and we were like, you know what, we're just gonna do a dancing course because there are some cool girls in there, so why not? So a couple of friends and me, we were just going to the dancing course just for funsies, actually, and a couple of us, we just stayed, and we just went on for like 6 years straight, 7 years straight, I don't know, course after course, and that's been super fun. I even did some competitions and so on. I gotta admit, my biggest problem is I was always pretty good in the movements and stuff, but my rhythm, I got no feel for rhythm. So back in the day, I was very lucky that my partner, she was 6-7 joke. That was even not meant to be. My partner, she was so good at rhythm. She was like the kind of killer at rhythm, and I was good at remembering all the all the steps and stuff. And I was also kind of okay in leading. So we were like a really perfect pairing. She was actually giving me always a nudge to have the kind of perfect timing. And I was the one giving her a nudge to which kind of move is next and so on. So we established kind of a little thing. And I remember my favorite dance is the jive, actually. I'm like, the jive is, for me personally, the most fun combination of all of that. I had a couple of others. People always tend to like the merengue quite a bit, but I found that super annoying. And also salsa. I always got pain in my lower legs because of salsa. Even though I'm playing football, I think it's just like different muscles that you need for that. Can we see front bumper cam? Yes, we can. Of course we can. Let's jump into that front blah blah blah. Front bumper. There you go. Yeah, well, that is I can dance, but like I can just dance standard and not like club dance. I think club dance I would be very shabby. We're gonna need proof for that, mate. Oh gosh, the problem is I would show these videos if they existed. No, I think there may actually be some videos. My biggest issue is the way I look back then. That was the time when guys meant to be looking like Justin Bieber at the beginning, like, you know, very nasty long hair, and after some sweating, these long hair, you know, just like started to curl very annoyingly. Just like, I don't mind my old styles, but the hairstyle of this time is criminal. It's illegal. I gotta tell you, it is illegal. So that's the same as guest cam, is it? Let's just have a direct comparison. But yeah, I feel almost like, right? It's virtually the same. That's interesting. I'm very glad that I don't have it on my... I will get, you know, that's the reason for all of you to come back. I will try to at least find some photos of that time. Hold on. I'm just going to double check if I may have some on. I may have some... give me a second. I don't think I have these on my gaming computer. Oh, by the way, guys, I can't... Now, I'm not going to show you because over there is a criminal chaos. But hold on. I'm going to show you something. Look at this dude. Look at that dude. And if we have a look inside, this is officially a streaming computer. That is all the best parts I had from my old computers, plus a couple of new stuff. My brother helped me to... Rudy Bieber, yeah, that comes very close. My brother actually helped me assemble that. This is all my old computer. But hold on. This thing is ridiculous. I forgot how good my old computer was. It has a... well, actually water-cooled, but it also has an i9 11950K, I believe it is. It is the RTX 2080 Ti. It has 950 watt. What is that? Like watts power supply, which is needed, obviously. And it does have 64 gigabytes of RAM. Unfortunately, that's DDR4, but you know, 64 makes up for it. So that is quite, and it's from G-Skill, that high-tacted one. So more than enough to act like a streaming PC. And my old desk is over there in the other corner of the room. So I'm going to build a second working area, which also has my 3D printer stuff and whatever. But this is actually way better than you think it is, because that is going to enable me to use my evenings twice as good. Because usually I have to decide whether I stream or play, or if I render my stuff. Now, I can render while streaming, or I can stream and do some crazy streaming with like high detail parks and high FPS, because you can tell already up here, we are only rocking 27-ish FPS. Wait, hold on, am I still on TAA? Hold on, did I change back? Oh no, look, we are already, this park is getting problematic. We are on DLSS already, guys, and we are just about 20, 30, I mean, it depends on where we are looking. But that is obviously during streaming. Now, if I had a streaming PC, without streaming, we would be way over 60 FPS. You finally got more storage in your PC. Yeah, I know, I don't, I actually don't. So yeah, but I mean, that's what it is. Anyways, that is super exciting with the computer, because this will give me the chance to like prepare all the stuff for rendering, let it render, and can still record while that. This is freeing an hour or two per evening session for me, which is great, because that means, or even at work time, during work time, where usually sometimes I need my full computer to do some video editing for work, and that also would block me, but so I can also daytime have this thing render and just use that. This is so cool. I'm so excited, honestly. I'm so excited. In any case, I'm just going to put that back, and then we keep on building. Enough of that. I am more than thankful, guys. This is all down to you. All thanks to you guys. All thanks to you guys making this possible. So I wish, can you at least click on the link and go and check out the desk yourself? You don't need to buy, but I would really love you guys to check out the link, because they have countless opportunities. I think they start from 300 something, and you save 150 with my code. So if you go for the lowest version with like the smallest desk, which is still pretty good, you can get it for less than 200, which is a pretty crazy deal, because the table itself with the motor is always the same. So that is pretty damn good. Have you got a port switch or multiple monitors? I have 3 monitors over here. I've got more old monitors over there. Honestly, I got them from eBay. Like, I got a couple cheap ones from eBay. Honestly, it's just, I don't mind. But I have to establish a connection via the network over here. But that is that's not too much of an issue. I also have like some streaming cards and so on. That is all. The setup will be rather straightforward. I'm just going to put that back away again for a second. But yeah, during the time I go, and you click out the links, please. Click the link in the chat, please. And check out the EZ7 Pro, how you can style that one. Highly recommend this. And honestly, they're stylish. The thing is, I needed to do that in time, because before going on holidays, otherwise, I would have gone for that walnut, how's it called in English? There's one walnut wood tabletop. That looks so sick. It's like a very dark brown, matte finish one. honestly great. The only little caveat you have with this, I've got a matte black one. It has fingerprints on it without even having fingers, because as we all know, I've got camel feet, and it still gets fingerprints but like with these kind of things, you can clean it off anyways. Okay, we're gonna keep on building, guys, because we only have an hour left, and I want to finish that support structure. Even that little bit of a support structure is already too much of a thing. I'll get still back to that question. I didn't forget about that other question where Ren Camel comes from. I'm gonna tell you this. Oh my god! Don't fall down. Don't fall down. What's that light? Is that? Wait, hold on. Black light. Black light is Build a Guy. Also, money, 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 money. Wonky Builder is the first super chat, the first of 10. Prove it. Hoofcam. Hoofcam. I can now. Okay, I'm standing as it's too tall. Can I get my? There is my. Oh my god! This is way harder than standing. There. Still looking for a new chair. Might go. Yeah, they all didn't answer me, Jonathan. I wrote a mail to Secret Labs because they have some cool chairs. They never came back to me, and DX Racer also ignored me. So chair has to survive, I guess. Chair is now almost 10 years, my friend. He's turning 10 soon. He's turning 10 years old soon. You got a friend in it, 10 years. Okay, I'm gonna tell the story of Ren Camel while building the supports, because the supports will be a little bit of pain on me, you know. So we're gonna do this right now. I start the recording. Don't mind that sound, weird sound, but it actually needs to be. So Ren Camel, where does this come from? It is actually a pretty straightforward story. Having a field day right now. Yeah, I mean, be happy that I don't put my camel feet in here, you know, because then Twitch would put me on front page. That's just what Twitch does. And just imagine if I would sit in a jacuzzi right now, then I would be front page. By the way, I still find this hilarious that there is this one I follow I follow such a like a what's that, Northern American Aquarium or so, and they they have a otter cam, like a sea otter cam, and they always have that in the category hot tub streaming. I adore that. It's always so fun, and they always have like that eggplant and water dripple emoji in the title with an otter, which I adore that. It's like every single time you see them going online, there's like hot tub streaming with that eggplant, the water dripples, and then the otter emote, and then this is so good. I just really love that. Let's see. I need something. Yeah, I think that one may work in several ways. Yeah, I think this is the good idea. Let's first of all try to. Can I wait? I should be able to just about do this and then switch the piece out, right? That now should be. What? What in the world is the gizmo doing? What in the world is this? Huh? Reacting like that while standing is much cooler. The actual fuck is going on? Whatever this is not the world axis. This is no axis. What the heck? Okay, hold on. I can't. Can I split stuff from that building? If I go in and edit, let's say that one. Have I random rotation on? No, I don't. I do use mods, yes. But like, it's never been. Yeah, you can't split that from the building. That doesn't help me at all. Okay. I've never seen this happening. This is ridiculous. I may actually use this piece now, just, just so I can find the middle. Why on earth is this happening? But I'm just using the Sky Studio mod, nothing else. I'm just using Sky Studio. That's all I do. Sky Studio is live. I can't live without it, even though Frontier has yet again improved the lighting dramatically. I can show you actually in a bit. I was very surprised when I got the early access, and I was like, wait, hold on, there's something is changed about that. You know what? I kind of like this to be on top of here as well. So let's plop that here. But enhanced move tool is something you might want. It is beyond crazy, and I love that wonky build. I love it so much, but I'm just fearing that if I have this, I can never get back to normal building. This is the only reason why I haven't installed that. It's the legit only reason. I'm like, I know when I ever touch this thing and it will ever break, or Frontier releases a big update that it doesn't support this, I will be completely done. And that is why. But I do think the tool will still not fix the issues. I mean, that would be kind of hilarious if it does. So let's actually do this. I feel like this is, yeah, that's much better. This is where we will connect these things. I will though now put this all in one building. That top thing can go with it in here. And yeah, but Benji, I mean, you are quite young, as we found out lately, but did you also play Planet Coaster 1 quite a lot? Or was it about Planet Coaster 2 that you really got into this? Because I remember that the gizmo issue in Planet Coaster 1 was actually a lot bigger, because they didn't implement all the fixes they have done during Planet Zoo, which they gladly did. So yeah, really curious to hear what you say about that, because I always figured that this is kind of crazy. You know what's also kind of crazy? I'm just going to rotate this in a little. Like, hi yo, Joris TDM, how are you doing? Okay, well this is okay. Now we have to do something about support. I'm just wondering, like, if I know this is exactly obviously where I would need the mod. In this specific case over here, I could always use this mod. Like, as soon as I would find the perfect angle, I could just about slide alongside the track, which is just ridiculous. I know that, so don't get me wrong. I know that this mod is absolutely goated. And distance is, yeah, he is ridiculous. He is kind of ridiculous. Let's see, I'm just gonna go with like a bright turquoise color. Turquoise. I don't know how to pronounce this in English, but I don't even care. Okay, so this is one connector. I'm just going to use these connectors as a reference right now where I have that. So that is kind of one I have. Then we're going to have one just about here. But we're going to have it this way because we need to just kind of create that structure in a way. That's nice. And then look at that, we even have these things where we could place them, but I will place another one over here. Another one just goes along here. Awesome. Planet Coaster was the first Frontier game I ever played. It came off back as Theme Park Tycoon. Oh, okay. Did you also try out the garbage that was called Roller Coaster Tycoon World? If not, I would absolutely love to see a video you testing out Roller Coaster Tycoon World. I would 100% want to watch that just for the fun. Catwalk TV. We have pushed this to Frontier. I'm not sure what they do with this info, but we have actually told them. And what I can tell you is they are very aware, and they kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. And by hate, I don't mean this personally, but like as a company, they obviously have other things to look into as well, such as, well, business cases, boring stuff like business cases, which means that sometimes they have things that they could do, but the question will always be, like, if they do it, what's the business case for Frontier? You know what I mean? And they will always be asked then, what is this doing for the future longevity of the game? And I mean, some of these modding features are hardcore core gamer features that about 100% of the people, or like say 99.9% of the people, will most likely never use. And this is something like, they're not stupid people. They do know what they're doing with the code and stuff. It's literally their game. But as I said, like, they will always have that issue that they have to argue why they do certain things. And if there is something like, a business case behind that, which with a game studio is the case, then obviously they have to argue this, as I said. It is a bit of a, double-edged sword. And I am very certain that they look into that, and as the mods are publicly available, they can obviously look how the people they do this. And they could obviously go in and try to, make the best out of it, and try to get in the code and just get in contact with them. It's the easiest thing to do. And also, honestly, it would be the most logical thing to do. But as I said, it is not always the most straightforward thing to do if there is a certain business case behind that. I hope that makes sense. I hope that explains a little bit why it always seems so simple. And just what I wanted to say is they are like fully aware of this. They are fully aware of this. Some mods I agree with, but some others, quality like Smooth Mod and PC1 was brought into PC. Yeah, I mean, yes, exactly. They did bring this in. Might be back later. Wonky Builder. Yeah, I'm not going to stream for so long, I guess. Completely missed the RCT world and upset about the long stream. Oh my god, I gotta make that video. Yes, you have to. I want to see you play Roller Coaster Tycoon World. I think my guess is that your face you made when the Sorcery DLC was released is still 3 times as happy as you will be at the happiest time of Roller Coaster Tycoon World. If that makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say? I hope that made sense. If not, try to make it make sense. I think it made sense. I think it just made sense. Okay, that is about the angle I wanted to go. It should look a lot better in a bit. Just gonna watch my WhatsApp in a bit if my wife is about to go to bed. It's looking interesting. Not yet good, but it's looking interesting. I may change this in a bit again, and I may change the colors, but that is a problem for when I have connected these things. Honestly, though, I will already say that I may need to change the size of these things quite a bit at the center to make it a bit more stable. I guess I can already do that, I guess, at the end of the day. This will be helping to sell the idea of it being a bit more stable. This game looks awful. I love it. I mean, the people have they have soul somewhere, maybe, I guess. They may have a soul, I don't know. I remember that, like, when it's been a special time, honestly. I would give a lot to be back in that time, just for the idea of the theme park genre. I remember that when when Roller Coaster Tycoon World was announced, that was about the time where I had my computer back in the day. It was in the internet. I wanted to sell it. It was up for sale because that was the time where I was also playing a lot of football in the day, and like I had a lot of friends with me every single day. I was getting into my job, actually, caring for making a career and all these kind of things. I really started to not play anymore. Like during this time, we played a lot of Battlefield. Was it 3 or Bad Company 2? I can't remember what again that was, but we used to playing that a lot together with my old school friends, and it started to dribble away. Like people had no time, were at university, were at school, were at work. And so at that time, I was about to sell my computer because I was like, okay, gaming, I've got a console, I got an Xbox back in the day. So I was like, okay, that's, it's been a nice time, but, that's been the longest I've been a gamer for. And so I had this thing up for sale. And then that was when Roller Coaster Tycoon World was announced to go into early access, and this weird game called Planet Coaster kind of appeared out of nowhere. And at the beginning, it really felt like a competition. From the early trailers and stuff, you were like, oh my god, both look kind of good. And even some people were like, oh, the coaster builder in Roller Coaster Tycoon World is much better, it's much more interesting, it's node based, blah blah blah, even though I still don't know if it was. And I kind of remember this time being so interesting. And my personal favorite moment will always be when I first booted up Planet Coaster. The first time ever playing Planet Coaster in that very first alpha will always be one of the most special moments in my life. I like in my gamer's life. That I initially, in a span of seconds, I knew I'm gonna take my computer out of the internet today. It's not gonna remain in the, oh my god, that doesn't work. It's gonna break. It's gonna break the forces. Oh my god, no. The moment I played the game, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna sell my computer. I need it now. And so I started to, oh my god, I started to basically play incredible amount of hours in the alpha of Planet Coaster 1. And I remember that with every single day I played the game, I was getting more and more obsessed with it. And I even forgot about Roller Coaster Tycoon World. And I remember that after like a week of like it unhealthily loads of Planet Coaster 1 Alpha, where I built like an entire, what was that? I built a Times Square. I built a Times Square with a coaster in, and for the OGs, in the first Planet Coaster Alpha, you needed to use a cheat code to get a coaster. There was literally no coaster in Planet Coaster. You just needed to use a cheat code. That was so fun. And then I was using that cheat code to have that one coaster that was available in game. I think that was the normal arrow loop coaster. What was I think it was the arrow loop coaster with a completely wrong coaster train. And there was like a lot wrong about this. Do we have to type in the game? I don't know. But like, yeah, the music from J.J. Ibsen, which obviously still they have outdone themselves countless times now with Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster Theme, Planet Coaster 2, just incredible talented musicians. That has been ridiculous. And yeah, talking about the PC1 period, I loved seeing you use the Sylph meme with your podcast video with him. Thank you! Someone saw that! I'm so glad that finally someone commented this. I was really waiting for a comment like that, Jennifer. I was so waiting for that. Because, like, Sylph and I were, like, also talking loads longer after the podcast recording. It's been a very good talk. Have you guys heard this? Like, please give me an O/ in the chat for those of you who have listened to the podcast yet. I really want to know who listened to the podcast already. Just very curious. Let me know in chat, please, because I wanna know something. So let me know in chat if you have listened to that. So that is looking much better now, guys. I'm kind of happy with how that looks. The awesome I did. Oh, that's awesome. I wish I still had my disc, but I play RCT 1 and I mean 1 and 2 RCT classics. Obviously, I can't deny that these ones are pretty crazily good. You did too, Jonathan. I'm just gonna wait for a minute. During a car ride. Oh, that's so cool. Yup, listen to it. So good, the groom. Okay, so for those of you who listened to it, your honest opinion, how did you like it from the vibe? Like from the vibe and from the overall podcast, how did you guys like it? How did you feel the talk went? Like from the feeling of a podcast. Listen to the whole thing, Tuan. Oh, that's so good. Just like, how did you enjoy the entire thing? Not content-wise, not from the content and what we talked about, just from the vibes and the way the podcast went. Really, really curious to hear about that. So. Still not perfect. Still bring that over a little. Sorry, I was just like being concentrated here for a split second finally. So, weep. Oh my god. I think that can be lower because it's a tad bit longer, so... And then we can make that one a little thicker too. Not too thick though. And then just about that should be fine. Yeah, quite like that. So this is pretty damn good. I'm just thinking about, I think I want to go with the turquoise vibe over here. Or do we make these orange? I'm very, very split on my opinion if I wanted to make them orange or whatever. But we'll see about that in a minute. Okay. So let's say insanely good vibe. Listen to the whole thing. You did such a good vibe together. That was really relaxing. Hi, mom, internet. One time I thought myself, oh, that's just, I don't have to say anything about it anymore. It was really nice hearing both of you. Okay, well, that just reflects what we thought as well. We did this relatively spontaneously because Sylv and I were chatting on WhatsApp actually, because he was mailing me like, oh my god, dude, that DLC is crazy. Did you enjoy that as much as I did? And I was like, yeah, man, really, and so on and so forth. And we just like really randomly did this, and you have to imagine that like we've been doing like recordings for Koali in the past quite a lot of times, but we haven't been doing that for a while now. Sylv obviously has changed a lot in his personal life, as he talked about. But we both, like, when we hit stop on the recording, we both were like, mate, we knocked it out of the park. We were like, that was insane. And what you was just saying, the groom, reflected like we wanted to record half an hour. It got almost up to 1.5 hours, and we needed to force ourselves to stop while writing us a message in Discord, like, hey, dude, we have to find an end. But we enjoyed it so much. And these blank moments, by the way, are all down to internet connection. Obviously, that's cut out later on because we both record our own voices on our local machines. But whenever there's like a little delay or something, it's awkward. You can't really cut them out because if you cut these delays out, the overall pacing doesn't make sense anymore. I think for the future, we need to ensure to have a podcast tool again. Discord sometimes has like little outages, and that is just, yeah, you know, it's just not like the way it is. But yeah, I mean, we were both like so happy after the recording. We're like, oh my god, we have to do that again in the future because that just vibed so much. And we're like, both of us were like, oh my god, we enjoyed that so much. So yeah, glad to hear that you guys kind of caught that vibe. I'm really happy that you did, because we too enjoyed that really a lot. That was so good. Just talking about all of that, I mean, we've been through so much, and it just cooled down a little bit lately, but that is simply due to aging, to growing up, and the situation, you know. Gotta say goodnight, yawning constantly. We'll live the fox, no problem. I hope you had a good, enjoyable lurk. And if you got more questions, by the way, Livy, let me know. Have I gotten back to you? Was it me to reply? I forgot. if so, poke me again, please. So yeah. I need to get rid of that. This looks way too much like as if this thing is wearing a hat or something that is just not good. So this is kind of good. So normally that looks, yeah. So this looks good now because you have that like thing as being steady. And honestly though, I think what we got to do, because that just, I mean, otherwise that doesn't fit the vibe. We have to get these things also orange. We have to just about do everything in an orange vibe over here, just to suit that corner here even better. Yeah, okay, we have to get up right though, just so that works. That's fantastic. And then this one also will be put in that orange vibe. Let's see, good. And these things, they also need to just pair with that. Just like very bright. Can we just almost like white? White is not good. White doesn't work. What about scaffolding? Somewhat of a red tone as well. That is a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm digging that. And now the only question about these things, the more I look at it, the less I like them. We're gonna exchange them with something else. We're gonna find something that works better. I mean, we can have some like a normal column like that, which is always working. But I feel almost like that this float piece over here can be of a great help. And we're gonna cap that thing like, I mean, obviously it's not a. We could, oh wait, hold on, we could just have that and just bring that down and see if that is, yeah, this would sit here pretty nicely, I must say. And then we can try to get this in the right color. We're just gonna get rid of this one. Oh yeah. Honestly though, that looks much better. That looks much better. I'm quite happy with this. I'm just willing to say that I must find another solution for the upper area then. But I think I can. That has a very nice retro vibe kind of thing going on. Kylie Blakemore, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Yeah, that has like a Space Odyssey kind of vibe. That fits loads better to this one. Loads better, that is. Oh, definitely just about two buddies talking about the game, like not talking over each other and all. And I was neat. I actually listened to it while playing the game myself. Yeah, that's so good. I'm too stupid drinking, by the way. I gotta say that this Twan. Okay, I will have to say goodnight to my wife, but stay with me. I may have to say something about that question of Koali. I got some insights for you. Nothing too special, but I'm just going to give you guys a bit of an idea why you haven't seen anything from Koali lately. So if you're into Koali, I'm just saying, stick with this stream. I'll be back in a second. I'm actually going to leave the camera over here, and you can see the coaster meandering around a little. Oops. So you enjoy that. Man, just like stay here for a second. There you go. Okay. I'll be back with you in a moment. Don't run away. We'll be streaming for a couple more minutes at least. And I will also tell you the story, or actually a story about that. So I'll be back. Okay, hello. Okay, not everyone is staying. I can see Kelly Games is about to leave. Well, you miss out on the story then. Anyways, hello again. That was a quick turnover this time around. We're gonna stay on this screen for a bit because I promised you to tell you the story real quick. So, lately, because of Planet Zoo 2, the old Quali crew, at least some of us, not Mike, because Mike is busy in his real life now. We just got chatting again. You know, we were chatting about Planet Zoo 2, what we think of it, and just like casually chatting about the game. And obviously, we were also casually chatting about why we just didn't do anything for Planet Coaster 2. To be honest, it's been never on the table with Planet Coaster 2. I remember that when Planet Zoo was announced, all of us were like, oh yeah, there's absolutely going to be Quali Zoo. It's been never in question that this was happening. And, we were actually pretty sure about that. We were like really, I just kept recording. I'm a stupid person. Now I've got 2 or 3 minutes of dead. Well, I'll just cut that out. But yeah, we were super happy with the decision. We loved Quali Beach. Everything was great. And at the end of the day, that was like a given. And with Planet Coaster 2, it was the exact opposite. It's been never on the table. We never talked about that. Even though we were still chatting at the time. And I think the last Quali episode was not really that long ago when Planet Coaster 2 was announced. So there was not really that much of a, time distance between the last Quali episode. But what I want to say is that we all felt super drained. We all kind of felt that pressure of delivering in a way that, looking back at it, Quali Zoo was huge. I can just do that real quick just for the funsies. Let's have a look. Quali Zoo episode 1. What is so special about episode? Yeah. The first episode of Quali Zoo has almost 200,000 views. 200,000 views. Quali Zoo episode number 2. That's the whole playlist. I can actually open the playlist here. Quali Zoo episode number 2 on Mike's channel actually has 100,000 views. Episode number 3 on the ladies' channel has 140,000 views. Quali Zoo episode number 4 on my channel has about 100,000 views. The number 5 has 80,000. Number 6 has 80,000. Number 7 has 70,000. Number 8 has 160,000. That was the time where the lady was going nuts. Then the next one has 60,000. Then the next one had 60,000. Then my lemur house had 50,000. Ladies Red Panda had 60,000. Was the next one 60,000. So we are in episode 13 of a series having 60,000 views. And I remember that my safari that I did somewhere in between had some crazy numbers. I mean, look at that. Episode number 23 has 160,000 views. And where's my safari, by the way? Because I remember that the safari also kind of went nuts with the views. Anyways, we have an average of, let's say, 80,000 views on that series constantly. And that created a certain pressure in a way. It just kind of created a certain feeling of we have to deliver. And you know how ridiculously incredibly detailed we went on that one. And then we had Mike being almost like our advisor who constantly kind of changed things we all agreed on that, so don't get this wrong. It's we all agreed on that one. And so I think at the end of the day, we all felt drained because what else could we have delivered? What else could we have done? Koali Zoo was outstanding, not only in terms of what we built. If you look at the zoo right now, it is mega. It has outdone Koali Beach 20 times. Every single thing, we have pushed the boundaries. We have done almost everything in the game that no one has done. I built that crazy aviary. Lady has done some really cool underground overpasses, whatnot. Sylph has done architectural styles that's crazy. Eben has built these hotels with interiors like ridiculous. I made this crazy safari that Eben and Mike took to just another level. And I think my masterpiece, even though I think that is the least viewed episode of all of them, but it's my favorite. It's kind of ridiculous. I made this aquatic tunnel where the lady built the temple on top, and I built that aquatic tunnel with all these kind of little aquariums using the billboards and so on. I really like that. And so I just wanted to say that at the end of the day, as happy as we all were, we felt ridiculously drained in the way of not meeting the demand of, the people. We could be like we could have been just, or we are, but like if I look at the last episode, hold on, what's been the last episode? Boy, look at that. Yeah, we've got 60 episodes. So the last episode is 40,000 views. So we still had 40,000 views on the last episode, which is crazy if you think about that. Which nowadays I'm struggling to get 4,000 views on a zoo video, and we had easily 4,000. This is how many people. I think everyone knew about Koali Zoo. So from a sheer YouTuber standpoint, it was the most stupid thing to ever end with this, But we, Janitha. Wouldn't have to, yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, remember how I have been at the beginning of Planet Coaster 2. I mean, I played a lot of it. I started series right away. But remember how vocal I have been about the game at the beginning. Sylph has talked about that now in the podcast too. He's been also not like, he's also not been feeling this too much at the beginning. But he obviously gave other reasons. So yeah, that is just like how it was. This is where it all came from, and I hope you found this interesting to get a bit of an insight what we've been talking about. So yeah, it's been interesting that it never really was on the table with Planet Coaster 2. I personally, that's just like a completely personal note, I am personally so glad that the lady designer found her way back into Planet Coaster 2, and I know that she enjoys it. I asked her. She is a bit overwhelmed by all the tools, and she rightfully so also complains some of the difficulty of some of the tools and why are they so different to Planet Zoo, which I think at this point I just got over it and I just accepted it. But she obviously is still pretty right about this, as we all are, and I'm still hoping that Frontier, maybe with the release of Planet Zoo 2, is going to give us a good moment of enjoying an improvement to that. I really do hope they do, because we all deserve that, and I do really hope that they might do this. I would absolutely love that. So yeah. So that's about the story, and there are more ways Planet Zoo YouTubers right now compared to the car. Yeah, I mean, also, if you look at this, at the moment, and it's kind of crazy, I do obviously love that I have met Leaf for the first time ever when we've been in Cambridge lately to check out Planet Zoo 2 in March, and that was the first time ever I met a terribly jet-lagged Leaf. He obviously has been doing a crazy journey. He's been around for longer, but he blew up the moment Frontier got a little bit more opened up with modding. The moment Frontier was like, hey, we will allow modding in a way of not complaining about this, and we will actually get YouTubers still invited who did mod stuff. Remember that I didn't mod my game for a long time, which was in the time where Bo was still at Frontier. They had a very strict no modding policy. They were like, hey, you guys can use mods, but then we can't invite you during the time where you're using mods. So, and that was changed when Holly Bennett came to Frontier. She was actually pushing hard to get rid of this rule because she was like, how stupid is this actually? Because like modders are just amplifying the game, so why would you not allow people to use that? And I think since then, especially Leaf and the people from the hardcore modding, it's a wrong wording, but like it feels they've been whitelisted in a way, and since then he's been knocking it out of the park. I love the hooks he's using. I love the way he's doing his videos. I'm also kind of jealous because he's just such a natural clickbait person in the most positive way. He's got a skill to do clickbait without doing nasty clickbait. And I'm very, very jealous of that because I cannot do this. I'm too stupid. I'm too German for that, I guess. He's like doing this in the American kind of way. And it just works. And I love that. I really love that. I wish I would be so easy. But like every single video hook he's doing is like, I'm always sitting there like, man, why didn't I do that? He's like so good at that. He's like so natural in this, like, you know, the way he's just doing that, like, you know, I've been doing that lately. And since I did that, I just realized all of a sudden how stupid this and this was. So I came up with the idea to do this and this, you know. And this is just like, whenever you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, that's super straightforward. That is just like how you need to do that. But whenever I try to come up with something like that, I'm like, nah, no one wants to hear this, and so it's so not, you know, it's so not there. And I'm like, it's great to hear that you're talking together again. I think you complement other well, each with your own area of expertise. I understand a project like that takes a lot of energy. Yeah, I mean, we've always been talking, don't get me wrong. We've always been talking. We are, I would even say we are good friends in that sense, even though we haven't seen each other too often. But the only thing is we all haven't met together, but we all have seen each other somehow in real life. Eben has been visiting Mike last year in Texas. I think he's living in Texas, I guess. The lady and I have seen each other a lot of times, but I also have seen Eben a couple of times. The last time actually in March with the Planet Zoo meet, obviously. I think the last time I met the lady was last year on the Frontier visit. But Lady and I have also met like in zoos together with the Jinitha, for example. Like we've been seeing each other quite often. So yeah, we are more like real friends than just online friends, I would consider at this point. Same to Sylph, obviously. So that helps. And in this sense, you also don't need to talk all the time. It's fine if you don't talk for a week or 2 or 3. It's still, like, it's not that there's been anything between us. Not at all. Like, it's been really, really good. It's just like all of us kind of felt the same, that we need to have a bit of a break from that. And that is all. That is literally all. But as Jinitha said, the whole situation around Planet Coaster 2 never really helped. And also, and I think this is a perspective you also need to consider, as much as, like, everyone will tell you eventually that numbers don't matter on YouTube. And I guess I have been criticized way too often for talking too much about the numbers, which is understandable from the standpoint of a viewer, because the viewer wants to just enjoy and forget about the odds of the world and just enjoy the time. So I get that. But my problem always has been that no matter how much other people try to tell you they don't care about the numbers, no one, except Sylph maybe. I do believe Sylph. Like literally Sylph is the only person in the world I actually do believe that he doesn't care about the numbers, because he's that kind of nerd type of person. He is so much into other things in real life that YouTube is really just very much just his hobby. But everyone else who's treating YouTube more constantly like a platform to upload, yeah, this is crazy. Hold on for a second. I'm just gonna close the window. Okay, well, hold on a minute. All right, so I mean it's it's summer, and I'm in the basement here, and our well, hold on, is our bedroom actually? Yeah, our bedroom is like 2 stories above here, and normally this room is isolated, so there's no problem with the noise. But obviously it's summer and very hot, so I had the window open now to cool down. And so my wife was like, can you please close the window, because I can literally hear every single word, which she can't. but still. Okay, no, but like other than Sylph, I would never believe anyone else if they say they don't care about the numbers, because that is literally just a lie. Everyone doing YouTube more constantly does. And then this is where I wanted to get with this statement is, and this is actually no problem at all, but if a game like Planet Coaster 2 comes in hot, has some very good momentum before the launch, and then with the launch, actually, the numbers dropped off dramatically and no one wanted to play Planet Coaster 2 anymore. And they've just been recovering now with the Parades pack. So 1.5 years later, they have been starting to recover, which obviously is a little late. So this also, I think also Instant Gaming does. Yeah, Instant Gaming does absolutely care about my numbers. It's kind of I hate the fact that Instant Gaming is such a mirror of my performance on YouTube. I hate this because honestly, Instant Gaming would be the best sponsor to have ever. But like the fact that no one seems to be bothered to get games lately didn't quite help me. So I'm on a very nice, okay-ish contract right now, but I'm completely off. I had a very good sponsor contract with Instant Gaming, and it worked super well up until the end of 2024. But as I said, that 2024 is where Planet Coaster 2 came in, and my entire channel, together with Planet Coaster 2, crumbled together. Views were going afterwards, and just what I was saying is like, if Planet Coaster 2 would have been a success like Planet Zoo was, naturally, after a couple of weeks, we may have sit together and talked about the odds of doing some koali, because it would have just helped the numbers, you know what I mean? And even that wasn't a thing. And this is why I was just trying to give you the idea why the numbers with Planet Zoo kind of created a certain pressure. Now, the numbers on Planet Coaster 2 did the exact opposite. They created a certain barrier in... But how do you feel, since I don't really know how they got cheap codes and Frontier does not get in any money when you buy those codes there? Well, to be fair, there is... I talked with Frontier about this, and Frontier has no real issue with this, because otherwise we wouldn't be connected anymore. They know about that. The only problem is they do have an idea how they get their keys. They just don't really get their keys. Like, they do get money for this. They don't know exactly how, because Instant Gaming, I have talked about this with them a lot, because in the very far past, 10 years plus ago, they had been under a different owner, and there has been some shady stuff going on. They have been bought and rebuilt and blah, blah, blah. And I also talked with a couple of other key providing companies. They all kind of have the same issue. They do buy keys during certain bundle times or like summer sales or whatnot. And this is why they can give them out cheaper, and there might actually be some other consolidating ideas they have. So yes, it may seem to other people, but I have seen certain things I can't share. I asked them for this, that I know all they do is legal. It is clever, and it's maybe not great for the companies themselves. The problem is, and I always said that to Frontier, if you guys had an affiliate program, I would drop Instant Gaming in a second, honestly. But they don't have. They just don't have. And they did try this with Jurassic World Evolution 3, but I think it is a little too late. I had the code, but like I think I sold like 2 items with it over the entire time. And Frontier had a very good affiliate value with this. Like that was, what was that? I think 10% or like 10% of the sale would be going to us. That was really good, to be honest. So, you know, with a normal sale of that's even more, 15%. I guess I don't remember. I don't want to spoil that, but like it was a good value. Let's put it that way. It was a good value. But like people are used to buying off anyways, you know. So it would be nice if instead of getting so much, we get maybe some discount. Because I don't know. But if Frontier or others would have had an affiliate program, I would have done this. But they didn't. So this is why. I still stick to what I say. If Frontier is going to have an affiliate program with, let's say, Planet Zoo 2, Planet Coaster, and much more, I would actually stop I guess I would stop this. But since I have seen the internals, I guess I can assure, and otherwise I wouldn't do this, that it is about okay. And I will admit that it's not like the super nice thing, but you could ask the same. You're doing Twitch, so you're basically advertising Amazon. Is Amazon doing all the stuff nice and legally? I mean, kind of legally in a way, because they kind of do make themselves the own rules, I will say. But you get the idea, So at the end of the day, this is the most valuable kind of thing I can do for me as a creator, and this is why I'm doing this. And you can see a lot of other valuable and honest and trustworthy creators also use that service, because they also have seen the same stuff. And which will not mean that in the future, if ownership changes or so, they may actually do some other stuff. But for now, I can ensure that this is really good. Anyways, Benji, we as creators have to collectively start a campaign for Playing Coaster 2 to convince people that the state is now is a lot better. Yes, man, Benji, I may actually drop you a message to that, because I had an idea for this. I really had an idea. I mean, I'm first of all in holidays right now, but I really had an idea for that. Also, Mr. Fogg, who just joined the chat, he's also very good at these kind of ideas. But I really enjoy that, Benji. I really enjoy that idea. It's we have to. People miss out on a great game. I'm just very happy. The arcade, I'm going to show you the arcade in a bit, Ostafe. I was so happy to see that the numbers on the weekend on Steam were like the highest numbers since launch, even surpassed the Sorcery Pack. And I was so happy to see that. Because that just generally means that people were waiting for the arcade. And I'm gonna double check in a second if that just kind of remains. Because considering that the Sorcery Pack benefited from a very active community during that time because of all the constant monthly updates, which were then ended off with the Sorcery Pack, that was a perfect momentum. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna quickly do that, Benji. Friends. Add friend. I'll do that. I sent you the friend request. So here's that. So that's good. I can't bother. I will fix that eventually. Whatever. Yeah. So what was I about to say? Sounds like some banger topics though. Oh my god. Thanks to your videos, I started playing again, so it's literally worked. I wonder how many deals. So what I was about to say, okay, the Sorcery Pack was positioned very nicely for Frontier, because that was after update 8. Was it 8 also? Anyways, when the game was like so good that at the end of the day, the Tinsel Towers. Oh, that's also good. No, actually, Fog, I mean, I actually meant you have also great ideas always for like collabs that can bring the community out there. And Benji was like rightfully so just saying that we as creators have to get together to make people aware of how good the game is. So basically what we need to do is we need to make a build-off against Josh from Let's Game It Out. That's what we need to do. That's all we need to do. The only issue is I see little to no chance that we get crazier than this dude. So we have to join forces to build something even he can't break. Maybe that's a challenge. I don't know. No, I'm just like, or maybe adapting that Switch Tracks concept into something could also be a good thing. Yes. I just deleted all the Switch Track videos yesterday, Fog, because I believe they are still in some kind of cloud. I do hope, at least. Because I just needed some hard drive space for some projects during the holiday time. I'm not sure if they will bring all the rides back, but my feeling is that with every free update, they will bring at least some old stuff back. You can kind of see that they seem to do something like that with Jurassic as well, and I'm kind of guessing that they will do something like that with Planet Zoo 2 maybe as well, because it is such a clever thing to do, you know. Oh, Ice Cream Man, you've seen the latest episode of Josh, I see. So for the question, of the arcade. I'm not done yet because my god, Mr. Rudy went all above and beyond again. I'm not sure if you guys, I think I haven't shared that. Yeah, I've started doing the SciFi arcade, and I started up dressing up every single thing until I noticed this may actually take forever. So we've got these ones, we've got some ones down here that I started doing. The Q Invader, that's like the Q Invader, obviously, because it's next to the Q. I'll head out. Yes, Mr. Benji, don't worry, I'm also about to end the stream in a bit, because I need to prepare for holidays tomorrow. Yeah, the arcade machine, more arcade machines, all in for that. But yeah, so the arcade itself is going to keep me busy for a while. I have the idea to turn this entire area into a interactive kind of World's Fair, because this one always was meant to be the SciFi Expo, and now with the event point, we will be able to make this very interactive, to make people go here and let planets, like, you know, go around. Like the planets that we have, we may not have them around this thing, but maybe we have some other planets over here, and we can activate that, make the planets rotate, make a little spaceship go around there. Maybe let's even a rocket start can be done. So we will have some really cool displays all over the place. You know, we make some displays, and then we're going to scatter these displays around. The displays can also be inside of the arcade. And then there is this little bit over here where I'm willing to place one more flat ride. This is where our restaurant is going to sit, which is not fully done yet, but like this is where the restaurant is going to be. And then I have to replace this bit over here, and our electrical parade. Oh my god, I spoiled that. This is going to be an electrical parade that is going to happen over here. I already put this house down, which is going to be where the parade is going to start over here, and it's going to be around that space, and this is going to be the shed for the parade then. The problem is that I have an idea that I can't realize quite yet, because I have certain things to do to break it, and I hope that this is gonna work. I have certain ideas that I couldn't fully test before my holidays, but trust me, it's going to be great. And I have to get rid of some of the crap pathing like this. But yeah, the park, my friends, can't survive for the park can't survive for much longer. You can see I'm at 48, 45 FPS, and we've got 9,000 guests in here. I mean, we already reached the limit almost, but yeah. Also, what I wanted to show you, we are ending the stream in a bit, guys, but what I wanted to show you is, now at the moment, I am running the Realism 3. I've got a new Realism 4 setting, which I like quite a lot. That is a bit more toned down. So this is the Realism 4. I think I nailed this. I think this is my favorite realism setup I had from the graphics right now. I did do a bit more haze and a bit more pop, but yet also made it look super crisp and realistic. What I wanted to show you is the following. If I am going to show you the game now in its pure vanilla style, reset all, that's all reset, sun. Yeah, so this is the pure game. This is the initial planet coaster look, and yes, it is still on the warm side, but they have definitely improved the colors of the trees and stuff. You can absolutely tell that they have majorly improved something about the graphics. Look how crisp the game all of a sudden appears. Even with the, we can also, just so you see the comparison properly, we can also get the depth of field deactivated, because that helps always to see it in a bit better way. Here you can see that much more prominently. The game is just so much more crisp. It almost seems like they have improved a lot of the textures and a lot of the depth. Like, look at the brick texture over here on that tower. It's just so good. It's so damn good. Plop, 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 plop. Yeah. Wait, what's it on my... Okay, well, there's another plop. yeah, popped it. I started an electrical but then got through one side of a float before reaching my max limit of frustration with trigger sequences. Oh, starting Jimmy, yes, I hope they will improve this next. But just look at the distance over here. Where it gets even more incredible is if we go to first person camera. Look at the detail. Let's focus on this screen for a second. Look at the detail of the people, look at the detail of the background, look at the brick and so on. Not sure what Frontier has done, but they did do something. It just appeared to me really, really crazily at the beginning. Oh wait, I would really interest me on how my park would run on your hardware. Let's just test that. Wait, hold on. Catwalk TV, we're just doing this to end the stream. Hold on. I'm just first of all going to save this real quick because apparently you can imagine that after the fail we had last time, this is something I need to avoid again. So here we go. Also, if you see something like this over here, if you look at this, they have improved something. I'm not sure what they did, if they just updated some stuff, but like how the light comes in, it is just a tiny bit better, that tiny bit crisper, that tiny bit more, like it looks finally put together. Does it make sense? Do you understand what I want to say? It's something really hard to, but also like the textures on here, they all look so much better. Like everything just looks so much crisper and yeah, really, as it seems to used to be, or should be, not used to be, but should be. Yeah, let's save the game here. New save, Hanseatic Greenland, single rail tower. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Starting, Jimmy, this is, okay, is it saved? Yeah, so let's go to the Frontier Workshop. The Frontier Workshop. We got the browser, just gonna type in the code. Please wait. This is the park, Wonderverse. Let's install. Downloading. Danny, 420. Ah, of course. He's quite chunky. What's that? Download quicker. It's 37 MB. What is this? It's 37 MB, should not be that long. Why is it downloading? Come on, do it. I mean, I can already go to the main menu. 37 MB should be less than a split second here, guys. Oh, I already mentioned that one. Let's get one of these sour apple ring. The game is tired as well. Huh. Okay. My installs. Parks. Where's park? Theme, blah, 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 blah. Last updated. Why is this not in here? Installed. Okay. Wow. View workshop creations. Why is it? It is so odd that I can't. Okay, whatever. Whatever then. Let's just go out of this. My parks and then workshop. Wonderverse. Where is it? Wonderverse. There you go. Load into now. Anything nice planned for holidays, Rudy? I'm sure you're explained, so apologies. We're going to go to Spain. But here's the spoiler. I also prepared a series for you guys called Pleasure Pond. The first episode will be releasing on Saturday, and then you will have an episode every other day. I have got 9 episodes recorded, cut it, and everything for you guys. And it is a real-time Let's Play in which I am using, and you've kind of seen this for a split second, where I'm using workshop creations mostly to play the game as it's meant to be played as a casual gamer, I guess, with a spin-off Rudy to it. And it is kind of crazy to me how much I enjoyed that. It's been an incredible joy to play for half an hour and get so much done. I think I did more in half an hour than in like 3 weeks with my actual projects. That feeling of not needing to do certain things and just like, oh, I need a fountain. Let's go to the workshop to grab a fountain. Or like, oh, I think a little kiosk over here would be nice. So let's go to the workshop. Or like, let's have a look if there is a flat ride that fits that area. Okay, let's go for a steampunk flat ride then. Catwalk TV. Yes and no. It's not the same because I did this in Sandbox without the limitation of money and whatnot. That's the first difference. And the second difference is that for Unna, I'm still doing loads more myself, you know. Exactly. Management Focus is the one I do in the German park as well. That Pleasure Pond is more on like building, you know. This is just like enjoying the game very casually, you know. But at the other, oh my god, wow, how many FPS do you want to have? None. Oh, it's actually okay. It's starting to get in. Let's hit pause for a second. There you go. Oh my lord. How did you have the patience? How do people do this? Holy heck. Okay, oh wait, is this like a Velocicoaster over here? Ooh. This is looking like Velocicoaster. Wow. Oh, this is Velocicoaster. Look at that. Oh my god. It's actually, wow. Wow. So yeah, this is the moment where you would actually need a streaming PC. I can't tell if this is the real performance I'd had or if it would actually be better. Let's see if there's anything I can do with the settings. Oh, but even the menu is lagging. So let's see. DLLA, let's see, and go ultra performance. Let's see if that is giving me more FPS then. Yeah, no, not really. I mean, nah, not at all, to be honest. Sandbox setting, good, nope, that's wrong. Settings. DLA, no, not reset. DLA, apply. Did I do everything right now? Yeah. Power Ranger is not accessible. Looks like a mix between all the right. Yeah, that's how I play all the time. How do you even do this? Yeah. How do you do this? I mean, you can't play this unpaused. This is like a proper core. What I wonder though is, and I've not really I mean, this might actually be because of streaming. But when there's one thing I was always praising about Planet Coaster 2 is that I didn't have that stutter, you know? I always had, oh, that's funny actually. It doesn't really change much if I hit play. So I usually have like less FPS, but that stutter is new to me in a way. Look, these little leg spikes, this is actually new. But with the recent NVIDIA update, I do have 60 FPS. In this park? What? What do you mean, Catwalk TV? How do you mean they're gone? Like after 2 to 3 minutes, you have like 20 FPS again, or what do you mean? It's smooth motion. Wait, is that, can I do this in the settings? Smooth motion, smooth operator. Oh, where do I put this in? Not in the game, I guess, right? The stuttering is gone after 2. Okay, hold on. How do you tell me, guys? I want to double check in the NVIDIA app. Okay, let's quickly do this. I wanna see. We are going to just check that out, and then I really have to end. Need to catch some sleep before tomorrow's drive. Hold on. Just gonna end the game. I'm not even sure if I've got the latest. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna double check. NVIDIA app. Again, I don't even have the latest driver. I think I can't test this right now. Because if I do install the driver, can I install the driver now while we are streaming? I'm just gonna test. If the stream ends for a bit, that's because I'm installing a driver right now. Because streaming and installing a graphics driver may not be the best idea. And even if it just lets me. I don't know. Even if it would just let me. It should work, you say? Oh, we gotta see. We gotta see. This camera position now with the raised table is kind of insane. That's actually. Calm down with me. Calm down. I've been standing for over an hour now. Is that true? Even yes, it is. Feels good to be seated again. But it really helps with the neck. It really helps with the neck. It really helps to get a good posture again and just like, you know, have the numb feeling getting out of my arm. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Really, really good. Smooth motion. Install. Yes. Express. Yes. We want to have Express. Guys, I'm so excited for holidays, but I'm also so excited what you guys say about my series. I'm so excited. I really hope that a lot of... what's up, man? Chris and Days. We're about to end. We're just testing a new NVIDIA update to see if I get more FPS in a certain park. And then I unfortunately need to end because tomorrow we'll be going on holidays. I did showcase my brand new raising and lowering desk. I've got a brand new desk to support with my neck pain to be able to stream while standing a bit more. We can just like, you know, we just go up again and down again, up and down because just hello, just stretch my neck. That's the moment where being a giraffe would be very good. So whoop, 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 whoop. I get, oh my God. I can't push myself up with my arms more than 3 times. After the update, you need to activate smooth motion in the NVIDIA settings for Planet Coaster 2. I will do. It's just still installing. Honestly, guys, having now headphones without a cable and this area here is like, look how much freedom we have. The camera, though, I have it on fixed focus because the autofocus stutters the whole time. It's annoying. But means a blurred camel, a non-blurred camel, and autofocus camel. That's just how it is. I really enjoy that. We can also, I can go into the basement. Look at that. Oh, I forgot something. Ugh. I'm a 2 times dad. I'm allowed to do dad jokes.